and welcome to Monday Night's Treasure Vortex with Gypsy from YouTube's Zero Discrimination, as well as gypsydigs.com, and myself, Amanda Digger Degaz. Hi, everyone, and welcome to 2023. I can't believe we're already in a new year. Hey, Gypsy, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing great. I'm excited. It's the new year. It's our first podcast in the new year. And I know we had an incredible year last year. We had a lot of new subscribers, followers, listeners, whatever you want to call them, on our podcast, and a lot of big things. But hey, we completed a new year. We completed a great year, I think. And we're going to kick it off with a really amazing podcast tonight. I know everyone, if you haven't heard already, a little bit of poor Amanda's little coughing and a little under the weather. Over the holidays, she had a lot of family in, and they had a great time. And then probably a combination of, all of that and all that excitement. She got a little sick towards the end, so she's a trooper, though.
Yeah.
You're feeling better, though.
I am. I'm doing all right. I got out. I got out on
Today?
I got out the 31st. I got out the 1st, and I got out today. I figure if I need to break a fever, what better way to do it than trying to sweat it out?
Oh,
So, I am. You got out this weekend.
I did. I actually didn't get out much over the Christmas holidays. My boys came in, and we visited and had fun and did other things. But I was able to actually get out yesterday and the day before. I don't know how many of you have ever heard of Sherman, Texas, but there is a creek, well-known creek there in Sherman, Texas, that is full of these old shark's teeth. Awesome. And I have other fossils as well. And so I got to get out and go fossil hunting and find some old shark's teeth, my first time ever. I've found loads of Texas fossils before, but never hunted for shark's teeth. So that was a blast. Another thing I can check off, my wish list. I know some of you call it your bucket list, but Amanda and I usually call it our wish list. But, right?
Yeah.
But another thing I got to check off, so we found lots. It's not the big, giant ones that you see some of them find, like on the East Coast, I know, up closer to where you are. But, hey, these are really cool. Yesterday, though, let me tell you. So, you know how when you're out you're out hunting, a lot of times when you're out metal detecting or mudlarking or bottle digging or whatever treasure hunt you're fossil hunting, you meet up with people everywhere you go, and people, like-minded people usually, not always. Of course, there's always the people when you're out metal detecting that are curious, that don't know exactly what you're doing or why you're doing it. Like, what are you looking for? What are you doing? But with this area, everybody's pretty much there for one reason, and that's to look for the fossils, the shark's teeth especially. And so the first day we were out there, we met up, which they will be in my video, with the cutest little young man and his father. And they were up from my old stomping grounds. They lived in the North Austin area, and they were over there. They come there quite often, and they were actually looking for they do bottle digging and dump digging. The little boy or young man, especially, just what we love to do. And so they were walking down, and pretty much everyone we meet, me, I've got to talk to everybody, ask them how they're doing, what did they find? You find anything cool? That kind of thing. So started up a conversation with them, and then found out, that they were from our stomping ground area. And then next thing I know, well, they're pulling out bottles and stuff. And I'd already seen all the glass, and I already told Jackie, I said, hey, look, there has to be an old dump near here, because usually when I find the old dumps that I dig in, it's near the old creeks or the old rivers, and usually near old bridges. Well, sure enough, there were looked like two old bridges that crossed this creek. And so I was just like, I've got to bring my metal detector. So we decided to come the next day. We brought our metal detectors, found a few things, but there is a ton of modern trash there, of course. Just like any river or creekway, there's tons of aluminum cans, of course. But I know there's old stuff there, because I did pull a few neat items that will be in my video. So as soon as I get home, get this video edited, I hope to have this out by tomorrow evening or by Wednesday. So really excited about that. So I got to do some metal detecting, some shark teeth hunting, and all kinds of stuff. Met up with yesterday this young lady and man, and this one girl is studying to be, a paleontologist. And she had this wealth of information that she was sharing, and she's in the video as well. She wouldn't show her face, but she did talk about what we were finding, some amazing stuff. So I'm really, really excited to share that with y'all. And it was an amazing time. And then today I didn't do a treasure hunt, but it sure felt like a treasure hunt. Today I went to one of those escape rooms for the first time.
Oh, that's cool.
Which was fun. And I think that's kind of a fun thing. You feel like you're treasure hunting, to escape out of this room, because you got to follow all the cool clues, kind of like if you're following a treasure map. So anyway, a lot of fun times over the holidays. So how about you?
Yeah, I didn't get out much during the holidays themselves. We had really, really nice weather. I don't even know what days today. Today's Monday. So Saturday I got out mudlarking to kind of end the year of 2022. Found some pretty cool things. Got a whole bunch of marbles and clay pipe stems and pieces, and then a couple mystery items that I'm not sure really what they are. I got to do some more cleaning up. And then yesterday, to kick off the new year, I decided to go out and detect. And it was about 4 inches of mud and then frozen ground. But thankfully, this is a turned cornfield, so it was a field prior to last year, where they dug down and tilled it and turned it into a cornfield. So it hadn't really gotten like the manure or any of that type of stuff. The fertilizer hadn't been put on it before. And the items that we were finding before the ground froze were relatively close to the surface because they tilled it. So I was like, awesome, perfect, get out there and see. Was kind of bummed out that it was, frozen solid at about 4 inches, and got, I don't know how many buttons. One, two, three, four, five, six, 7 buttons.
What kind of buttons?
All really pretty design, early
Flat
buttons.
buttons?
Yeah, but they're curved.
Wow.
One's a ball button
Oh.
that's got design on it. Colonial shoe buckle frame fragment, like open worked, which is really pretty. And then I got, it's either a half cent or a farthing. It kind of matches up to like the size of the Massachusetts half cent I had, or it could be, the Lady Liberty half cent. I'm not sure. it's so toasted. There were a couple actual clumps that I had really good target and I could see the edge, and I knew one of them was a button, and I could not for the life of me get the item out. So ended up having to put the clump in my finds box, or like my pouch, and then took a break and went and set it in my truck so that way it would thaw out and I could get the items out without bringing home giant clods of dirt. And I was absolutely covered in mud. And it was one of those things, this isn't a flat cornfield that you think of. This is on a hill. So I'm slipping and sliding on this cornfield, like going, oh my gosh, I am gonna so take a digger here and like slide through the mud. And then I was like, wait, if I walk on the corn stalks that are bent down, then I can get some traction. And that actually worked. And
That worked.
yep, it did. So
What kind of shoes were you wearing, or boots?
yeah, I was wearing my bogs.
Okay.
Yep. Um,
Okay.
yep. I mean, everything was covered in mud. My gloves, my pinpointer, my hand lash, my shovel,
Oh,
myself.
been there. Yep.
And then I slept in really late this morning compared to what I normally do, because basically taking what I can to feel better. And
Right.
and about 1 o'clock, like the sun came out and it was, I don't know, 41 degrees. And I'm like, you know what? John's like, you going digging? I'm like, oh, yes. So I bundled back up and
Not
where,
stopping the Amanda.
yeah, yeah. And where I walked yesterday, like there were some signals I could not get to, like for the life of me. When you spend more like than a half an hour, 45 minutes trying to dig a hole, I'm like, that's it. I had to just give up. So I tried following the steps and I couldn't find those spots for the life of me, but I could get my shovel in the ground today. And
Ah.
didn't really find too much. Musket ball, a couple other things, broken
Hmm.
pieces, no buttons, no coins. Um, but ultimately, it was great to be able to get out. Even though I am sick, it was fresh air, the sun, and
That always
getting,
makes you feel better.
yeah, getting to do what I like to do. And, I can't complain about that at all. So,
True. True.
and all apologies to all our listeners about, the last 2 weeks. Things just between, I know that you were traveling, I was traveling to get my brother, and then those storms came through here with a vengeance. And I know our neighbors were, thankfully, we're fortunate enough that we only were without power for, a day. The house that's like two down from us and all the way down the street didn't have power from Thursday through Monday. So of the Christmas weekend. So we were definitely fortunate that we did have power for a lot of that. And I know you even lost it too, didn't you, down there?
Yeah. Yeah. It power went out there, and also in town where I